for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Easy Mutt. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good guys, Venomfire here back from the video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to quick adjust in Madden 21 like a pro. I always get comments on videos if it's a more complicated video. I cannot get, all of these adjustments off in a short period of time. I'll have 5 or 6 adjustments in a setup, and a lot of people just do not know how to get those off. They're slower with those adjustments. I'm going to show you guys how to get better, how to use all of your adjustments, and also how to, use each different one. Sometimes in a video I'll say shift your D-line to the right. People sometimes do not know what that means or how to do it on their controller. So basically I'm going to go through all of the adjustments, how to access them quicker, and just some good helpful tips for you guys. A good balanced video. So starting out, I'm actually just going to show you guys how to see your play art. Now, in an actual online game, all you really have to do is hold that left trigger. Now, because I have 2 controllers, it actually doesn't work, but typically all you have to do is hold that left trigger and your play art will show up like this. You can see where each player is. For example, I have, 5 people blitzing, and there you see it with all of my guys on their blitz assignment. So pretty simple. Moving on, I'm going to give you guys something that if you're a beginner to the game, you might not know, and that is going to be that you do not need to use the right stick at all. I know that sometimes when I play my friends, other people, that they just do not know how to adjust, so I might tell them to audible a play, and all of a sudden I just hear them hitting that right stick. They're looking through everything, pressing X, and it just makes it a lot more complicated, there. This right stick literally does nothing at all. It's almost just explaining what everything does. So I might use it for reference, but when you're actually adjusting in-game, you never want to hit that right stick button because it's useless. So, for example, you see X is audible, which is actually where I'm going to start off. So X is audible. I don't have to press the right stick. I can just go ahead, press that X or square button on PlayStation, on my controller, and my audibles are pulled up. So the right stick, very useless. It's very difficult to adjust if you're going to press, right stick X, I audible, then I press right stick Y. So again, we're going to start out with that audible, so you're going to press X or square, and then there's different things you can do. Now, you don't have to use the D-pad, you can just obviously click the button that you want to audible to, but you can also audible to different formations. So if I'm pressing X, I can use my D-pad to go to the left or right, and now I can go to a nickel normal. Now, nickel 335 wide, or nickel 335 normal. So it gives you options. That's the simple way to audible. Just press X, and then you push the D-pad, and then obviously you have your 4 plays right there. Simple stuff, and it's, again, very quick. I can easily just go switch to a man coverage in a split second. I just press X twice, and boom, I'm in man coverage easily. Now let's talk about how to cancel a play. Let's say I go to man coverage, but I know this guy has a man coverage beater, and maybe the man coverage beater is going to be something like this. It's going to be a backside slant that he's gone to. Now, rather than staying in man coverage, I can actually reset my play. Now, it'd be ideal to do it before he motions over or whatever, but to reset your play at any time, you're going to press X. It's going to pull up your audible screen, and then you can press that left trigger or L2 on PlayStation. Boom, it's going to reset your play. Now, if someone's already motioned over, it's going to mess things up, as you saw right there. So I'm just going to reset things on this side of the ball. And even if they reset their play, you see how my cornerback is still on the wrong side of the field, so I'm just going to snap throw this really quick. But that is a simple way to reset your play. I'll do it without motion again. So let's audible to man coverage and then reset my play back to my original play. So you don't have to have your original play ever in your audibles. And it's almost like a 5th audible because you can just reset the play. Boom, I'm back in Mike Blitz 3. Not sure why he is running on the wrong side of the field, but that is the simple way to do it. Now, there's also something, as I'm just going to throw it away real quick, there's also something that you can do that you've probably seen, and that's going to be how to flip the play. Now, flipping your play is just going to be X and that right trigger. You see when I do it, the cornerback is going to go to that weak side, and that is what you want. I can easily flip him back by pressing X and right trigger again. Now, certain formations you'll see, like the weird route, the zone flips, so you see how my safety on the left, that free safety, he's in the seam flat. If I flip my play, he goes to the middle third, and then my strong safety goes to the seam flat. That's just some simple stuff. Usually this will be used if you don't have Autoflip on. Now I do have Autoflip on, but if they were to flip their formation, you see how now my cornerback's on the wrong side, I would have to flip myself, and now we have everything good. Easy way to catch on. So that's pretty much it for the Audible system. It's relatively simple once you get to know it. Again, with all these tips, I do urge you guys to go ahead, try it out yourself in practice mode, and just practice these for an hour, a couple hours, and you'll start to get them down. You'll start to see differences. Again, you obviously want to try them online, but some simple stuff here. Now, moving on to our next thing I'm going to talk about, that is going to be the secondary, how to quick adjust. And this is mainly the biggest part, because sometimes when you're quick adjusting, when you're adjusting your secondary, you have to do a lot of things. Now, as you see right here, there's a couple of different ways to adjust your secondary. Now, the base way to do it is just to press that Y button, and you see I have a couple of different options. I could press my DBs, so you'll hear me say maybe you press your DBs. That's going to be Y down on that left stick. Now my corners are going to come down. Some simple stuff there. If you want to back up your corners, you see them pressed. Then you just press Y and up on the left stick. Moving on to some other stuff. Now, you can base align. Base align is going to move your corners usually to that outside. And then you could press. Now, doing that is kind of weird sometimes. No one's really doing that this year, especially with the man coverage meta, so that adjustment is relatively useless. Just to cancel the base align, you could just do it again. Pretty simple stuff. The last thing is to show blitz. Again, I don't really do this. This is not my favorite adjustment, so again, not something that I use really ever. It almost gives away the play, what I want to say, but moving on to that right side of your stick, you see you have over the top, inside, outside, and underneath. So in a man coverage scheme, let's audible to 2-man under. The most popular way to run 2-man under is to press, so Y down on the left stick, and then shade underneath. So when you do those, you have to do 2 separate adjustments. So I have to press Y down on the left stick, and then Y down on the right stick. I can't just do Y down left, down right. I have to press Y twice for my 2 total adjustments. But basically, shading underneath, you will see it's going to give us a better jam on the line of scrimmage. Just take a look at Darius Slayton there on the right side. He's going to get pressed. Now, he gets an outside release, and he's going to burn him. That's why you almost need that one step ahead ability to do it. Let's talk about the other way to do it, and that's going to be to shade over the top. Now you can do shade outside. You see how shade outside kind of adjusts him. Take a look at that left side corner, Trayvon Diggs over there. If I shade outside, he just gets different leverage. I'm not completely sure how everything adjusts in zone coverage. Again, I do think they play the outside maybe a little bit more, but not enough to make a difference. Now let's try shading over the top. I'll throw Shepard on a streak, and you see now he's not getting pressed. So he didn't get pressed at all. If you have a corner that can't press, you have lower overall corners, that's the thing you want to do. You want to press, and then you want to shade over the top. Couple things down low, you see how we have sticks, man align. Sticks is mainly for zone coverage. If it's a 2nd and 20, you don't want to give up a first down. You play the 6, and then they're going to kind of sit around that 20-yard mark. As far as man align, that's just another way of adjusting your defense. So again, have that. I don't use man align as well, really at all. But mainly where we're going to go to our adjustments is going to be quick adjust. So you see quick adjust right there. You also have individual. Individual is just to kind of back up corners. So if you ever wanted to press the bunch side, so if I was in 2-man under, I wanted to press the bunch side, but I wanted to back up Shepard. He's the deep threat. I want to back him off. I'm going to press Y, A, X, and then I can push the right stick up. Then he's actually going to go back. So that's a good way to only move one of your players. You can do that for any guy, any receiver on the field. If I wanted to move Barkley back, it doesn't really work because he's already on the line of scrimmage, but mainly for DBs. And yeah, so let's move on to our individual or quick adjustments, which again is the key stuff. So to pull up your quick adjustments, you see you're going to double tap Y. Really easy accessibility because you can just press it quickly. And then you're going to pull up your corners. So I can adjust any defensive back on the field. I have 5 guys. So that is a pretty simple way to do it. Let's pull up our actual zones, our man assignments. So you see all these different zones. You have an outside third, hard flat, soft squat, and quad flat. Now I'm not going to explain what all of those does in this video. But they're just different zones. Here's a quad flat, boom. Here's a soft squat. Here's a hard flat, and then up is going to be the outside third. For all of these zones, all of these defensive backs, the blue zones are going to be those up keys or the up on the left, analog stick. And then you just have different zones. Outside quarter, that's going to be a deep zone. Deep half is going to be a deep zone. You could actually blitz him, which is going to be down on the right stick for every single player on the field. But mainly the one I want to focus is man coverage. If I want to man up a player, if I'm in zone coverage, or let's reset here. Let's flip it. If I'm in zone coverage, maybe I want to man up the slot cornerback, for example. So the way to do that, you double tap Y, I press A, I push up on the right stick, and then I press the player. So that's probably the most difficult adjustment if you're new to the game. How to man someone up. You're going to it's very quick if you know it because it's just a couple of buttons. You're really only pressing 3 buttons. But someone new to the game, they might go right stick, Y, Y, as my controller turns off. Of course it does. I'm going to go get new batteries. Pretty much what I was saying, though, is someone new is going to go right stick, Y, just a whole different type of stuff. And it really just makes everything overly complicated. And it really just oversimplifies things almost. So you just, again, to man someone up, you're just double tapping Y, pressing the corner that you want. Again, you don't have to man someone up. I can put the safety in the zone. Again, I'm not going to explain what every zone does, but just to man someone up, double tap Y, A, or whatever corner you want, right stick up, and then the defender that you want to man up on. So it's pretty simple overall. It's not overly complicated if you ask me, but that is probably the most complicated thing you'll see in these whole quick adjustments. Moving on, we will hop into our other stuff. I want to hop into these defensive keys a little bit because this is more basic stuff as well. With these defensive keys, really all you have to do with these is it's going to shift your entire defense. So to shift your entire defense would mean, let's reset the play here. I'll flip again. To shift your entire defense is going to be, let's say I want to pinch the defense. So if I pinch the defense, I'm just going to press right bumper down on the left stick. You'll see what that does. It's going to pinch my defensive line. It's going to pinch my linebackers, and it's going to press my corners. So boom, everybody comes down. Pretty good against the run. Depends on the defense. Going back to that, I can also spread my entire defense. So now everybody's going to go back. This is not ideal. You'll rarely pinch the entire defense. You'd also shift the entire defense right, although the corners usually won't follow. That's mainly for your linebackers and your defensive line. And then you can also pinch or shift left. But taking a look at that right side, that's going to be your guess play. That's for run commit. You'll hear people say run commit, pass commit. If you want to pass commit, which is really the only thing you should do, if it's a 4th and inches, he's in goal line formation, then you can run commit. But run committing is just going to be right bumper down on the right stick. You'll see, let's run base here, and boom, everybody's going to play the run. Pretty solid run D. Not ideal because, again, if they pass, you're done. Pass committing, what pass committing does is I think it gives you better sheds, but it's also going to give you worse sheds against the run. So be careful doing that. You can in certain situations, like a 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16. I feel comfortable, pass committing, giving myself a little bit. I'm not exactly sure 100% what it does. Again, EA's never told us, but obviously with the run commit, you have run up middle, run right, run left. Usually I'll just run commit down. I feel like that's the best way to do it. And then I'm not exactly sure what option QB, option running back does. I think that's for read option. Honestly, I've never used those adjustments in my life. But mainly quarterback contain. QB contain's not as popular this year, but you see what it did to my defense. Basically, those outside rushers are going to be on contains now. So if I scramble out of the pocket, boom, they're going to contain the quarterback. This is really good because if you're not intelligent with the game, you just got it, you haven't played a lot, you're probably going against a lot of people that are going to just scramble out with their QB every play. Simple fix. Just double tap that RB button or R1. Moving on to our other stuff, let's hop into just how to adjust your user. Now, how to adjust your user, all you have to do is press A, X on PlayStation, and then I can just put him in any zone rather than going D-pad to the right twice, Y, and then zone. You'll see some people maybe, if they want like a really quick adjustment, they'll just click onto this corner and then put him in man coverage. It's an easy transition between these two players, but you're obviously not going to go to this outside corner. You're not going to go to this left corner. You're not going to go across the field. It's way faster just to stay on this guy, adjust everybody, especially once you get it down. It's a bad habit to just be going onto the safety, putting him in a zone. It's a better habit to just be developing the muscle memory. As far as our other stuff you could go ahead and adjust, I actually kind of want to talk about how to just move your player. So if you're new to the game, which some of you probably are if you're watching this video, there's a couple of problems with when you first get the game if you don't know. One of those is how to move my player. So if I'm using Van Der Esch, I want to use a defensive lineman. Someone might just go, if you're new to the game, oh, I know B switches my character. I'm just going to press B until I'm on the D line. You could do that, but the real effective way to do it is just to hold your left stick in the direction you want and then press B. So I want to go to the left side. I'm going to hold my left analog stick to the left side. I'm going to press B at the same time. I can go up. You can also go diagonal with your stick. Really responsive, directly down to the left. And then again, I can go diagonal here and it's going to adjust. Pretty simple stuff. And it's an easy transition. I'm sure most of you do know that as well. Taking a look at our last adjustments here, it's going to be the defensive line and the linebackers. There's also that X Factor stuff. Now, it doesn't show up here for whatever reason. Gotta love that. But usually to see your X Factor, I think it is just the right stick. It might also be the left stick and the right stick up. As I previously mentioned, just hold the left stick as the player. But let's hop into the D-line, linebacker adjustments. I'm going to start out with the linebackers. Linebacker adjustments, it used to be right bumper twice, but they changed some stuff. Now that's going to be to contain. So to adjust your defensive line, it's going to be the D-pad. So you're going to use the D-pad here. The linebacker is going to be D-pad to the right. Your D-line is going to be D-pad to the left. So it could be a little bit confusing, especially if you're starting off, you don't know anything. But eventually you'll get it down. D-pad to the right, and then you see all three of my linebackers show up. Similar to those quick adjustments, basically, you're only going to press it once if you want to actually pull up the zones. Now, I never use this really. Really, the only situation where you would actually be adjusting your linebackers would be to pinch them or spread them, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to focus on the quick adjustment, so it's going to be similar just to the quick adjust. Instead of pressing Y, you're pressing D-pad to the right. I can pull up A. And then I can put him in any zone. I can also man him up. So I can man him up on Golden Tate. I can man him up on Darius Slayton. I can man him up on the running back if I want. I can put him in a bluff blitz. I can, vert hook him. I can curl flat him. I can do literally anything I want. And that is really, really nice to know because, again, he's quick snapping like a hitch or drag. You can easily man him up. Same thing for every single other player. Let's hop into the D-line, though. D-line is going to be D-pad to the left. Once again, you'll see more people use D-line shifts rather than linebacker shifts. So if someone says shift your D-line right, D-pad to the left, left stick to the right. If someone says crash your D-line out, that's going to be D-pad to the left and the right stick up. Now you see how this guy is pointed out. If I crash him in or slant inside, now he's crashed inside. His assignment is going to be defending the inside run a little bit more. So overall, it's a simple concept there. Again, you can slant right, slant left. For some complicated rundies, especially ones that I do, it'll be like press, shift right, slant left. You're going to use her here, and then you can shoot through that gap. So simple stuff like that. But again, once you know the adjustments, you're like, oh, this is not as hard as I made it sound myself. But same thing for quick adjustments. Now, as far as manning up D linemen, really, the only man-up situation would be manning up this guy maybe on the running back. It's mainly going to be used for QB spy assignments. There are situations where maybe you put him in a zone. Maybe you put him in a curl flat. That would be a 4-down lineman set. But yeah, same thing. Quick adjust, double tap D-pad to the left. Press that icon. Press whatever you want to do. Now, if you guys want me to explain what every single zone does, because again, that would take a lot longer, probably another 20 minutes. Let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this style of video, these kind of basic concepts, the last two I did pretty well, so let me know in the comments if you want to see more. Anyways, that's going to do it for the video. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and peace. I'm out of here.